Dave, recently when you were talking about just the offense, you described them as showing a lot of fight, especially late in the game. So what were you seeing just there in that seventh inning and how they built at-bats and retook the lead?
Yeah, the seventh I thought was obviously our best inning. Will leads off with a walk, and then Kim gets a walk, and then right there, Miggy gets behind 0-2 and then gets hit by a slider. So, fortunately, we were kind of victims of good fortune. I think that allowing ourselves to, build that inning, and then we started getting some hits, which was great. It was good to see us show some life tonight early on. Obviously, we had some chances and really couldn't cash in situationally, but the pitching held strong. Emmett getting hit on the tricep, but still going 6 innings was huge. And then the bullpen did what they do.
Clearly fought to stay in, just as you guys were checking on him. What does that just say for a young pitcher like him, and then also how he was able to be efficient on the back end of that?
He was really efficient, and he's just a good competitor. Pitchers, our guys right now are starting once every 6 days, and so this was his day, and he wasn't about to come out of that game. And so I gave him every opportunity. Thomas gave him every opportunity, but he wanted to stay in, and we took him at his word. And I thought tonight, I think he realized that he probably didn't have a whole lot of bullets, and so he was on the attack. And I thought Will did a great job with them and sequenced well, and got through 6 innings pretty seamlessly.
Did you see something specifically that prompted the second visit out there with Emmett, or was that just...
I just saw him shaking his arm, after a couple throws, missing wide right, and then kind of shaking the arm. So I just wanted to make sure that we didn't put him in harm's way.
How did Kike look tonight?
He looked good. I felt, tonight was good to have him in the game, get him a start. I thought he was going to bring some energy, just obviously haven't played for a while. So he did bring that, got a big hit for us, got another infield hit. So it was good to have him back, yeah.
Is Rojas okay?
He is okay. He is okay. He took it off kind of the shin area, but he'll be fine. Just a contusion, but he'll be in there tomorrow.
Some months he's kind of messing around the glove. How close was he to entering the game?
Yeah, we were, because I just didn't know how bad Miggy was, so I wanted to kind of check in on Max to see if he could potentially go out there and stand at third base. And so he was up for it, but fortunately we didn't have to use that.
What do you think the toughest thing a player faces like Kike tonight after a very long layoff? What's the most worrisome thing you can
I wouldn't say worrisome. I think probably the thing is that you're so excited to get back and trying to do too much. So I think that's probably the thing that there's a lot of emotion, adrenaline, anticipation, and so that's probably the thing you got to guard against, but he did a good job of managing those emotions.
The bullpen's scoreless streak came to an end, obviously, but what did you see from them over that stretch, and how do you look to them to build on that going forward?
Well, we got another 2 innings under our belt after that homer, but yeah, Kyle's been great for us, and Tovar hit a changeup, and it was good to see Kyle come back and get that next hitter. That was good to see, but all good things are meant to come to an end, and we'll start another one.
Mookie Betts had that sac fly at that big inning there, but what are you kind of seeing overall from his at-bats right now?
I think he's kind of obviously he's not confident in his swing, his mechanics. I think a little bit he might be taking that into the batter's box. Right now I think it's the mechanics is one thing, but I think a little bit overthinking, trying too hard, anxious. But it was good to see. I think in that last at bat, you can just see him just fighting, and he was going to will himself to drive that run in, and that was good to see.
See maybe where a lot of the guys were a few weeks ago when the offense wasn't going so great.
Yeah, I think that's exactly where he's at right now.
Dave, this could have been a letdown game coming off a really good road trip. What does it say about the team to keep kind of fighting, especially late?
Yeah, it looked like that through 6 innings. I thought we did a good job of getting the leadoff guy on base, getting him to second base, some leadoff doubles and things like that. But, we couldn't finish the innings off. So it was a little bit of a letdown. I just don't think our focus was where it needed to be early. But, what we've done all year is 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, we start kind of bearing down a little bit more.
Shohei beat double play on the seventh
Seventh.
inning, yeah. And after that, he tagged at the sac fly to the second. How do you think about those hustles?
It was great. It was a big hustle play. Lefty Bernardino comes in and he hits the ball hard, and then for him to hustle down to first base and beat the double play was huge, and it just sets up that inning, because if he doesn't, then we certainly don't take the lead, and that was a big hustle play by Shohei right there. All right, good night, guys.
Emmett, first let's just start with the comebacker that got you. It seemed like your right bicep. How is that where it got you first and foremost? How are you feeling you were able to stay back out there? But just did it feel like there was any impact at the beginning when Dave was checking on you?
Yeah, right in between, I think bicep, tricep on my arm. No, I felt fine. I knew it just caught like muscle, so stung in the moment, but it wasn't anything, to be worried about. So.
You've talked about wanting to get deeper into the game, to get through 6 innings of work tonight. Just not only how much pride do you take in that, but how much pride do you take in just wanting to stay out there, fighting to stay out there, and battling through it?
Yeah, I mean that's your job as a starter, is to get through as many innings as possible, take the load off the bullpen, and put up zeros. So it definitely felt good to be out there for 6. I had a couple of pitches I wanted to have back, but yeah, it felt good.
How much lobbying was there to stay out there, especially the second time David Thomas came in?
Yeah, I mean, I just told them I felt good. They were concerned, I think, but yeah, I felt fine. So, good amount of lobbying.
Did you have to do anything different between innings just to keep it loose, or does it feel fine now?
Yeah, the trainers were great. They gave me like a little hot pack or something to keep it, from swelling up, I guess. So yeah, it was fine.
Did it hurt? You hardly had a reaction.
Yeah, it hurt. But no, it wasn't anything too bad. Like I said, it was just on the meat of the bicep, so it wasn't like caught a bone or anything bad.
When you look at just how you're using your stuff today, curveballs especially, how his breaking was excellent. Did it just feel like that's kind of the best that it just felt for you so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, the game plan was just try to keep him off balance, slow him down, and speed him up. So fastball wasn't obviously the best today, but I think, Will called a great game, and we were able to keep him off balance.
Were you surprised your velocity hasn't bounced back like it has in the first inning, which kind of drove us down the other?
Yeah, I mean, I think we made some good progress with it the past couple weeks, and then today kind of went back into that old pattern. But I think we know, the path to getting it back on track, so I know it'll be there soon.
You had to adjust your sequencing as well, just to kind of make up for that?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, I think in general I'm a little better when I'm more off-speed heavy and can keep them, guessing a little bit more. But yeah, I think, pretty much the same.
Obviously, you'd rather have yourself kind of working at its best, but do you think you've learned anything about the rest of your mix and yourself as you've been working on this?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a challenge to try to keep guys off balance when it's not, coming out as good. So it's a good learning experience. Obviously, I wish it was there, but I know when it'll be there, it'll be, better overall because I learned from it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, we were just talking to Dave Roberts, and he was talking about how the injury you dealt with last year was clearly way more severe than I think maybe we knew, maybe you knew. How much better are you feeling just post-surgery, be healthy, and ready to get going this year?
A lot better. It was a rough year. The best description that I can put on is like every time I would get in my batting stance, I would feel like I had a blowtorch on, and it was kind of frustrating because there was not much we could do for it, but it's fixed, and I'm glad it's fixed, and feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, what's been the focus for you just as you've been building up and getting ready for the season?
It's basically like spring training, just get the timing back, get the body right and clean shave. Trying to get rid of bad habits that, having a bad front side can cause a lot of bad habits. So, just trying to grind on those things so that, whenever it was time to play again up here, I'll be ready to go, and I feel like I'm ready to go.
Did you re-aggravate it on that diving play, like on the DS?
CS, yeah. I had probably 7 shots through 2 months that I was on the IL last year, and nothing was really working. And then Dr. Letras came back from a trip and finally was able to see me, and we did something a little different, and we tried to get the bone to bleed with a needle a little bit so that we can get the bone to heal, and that kind of numbed it out so that, I'd be good enough to finish the season. And I was feeling pretty good till that dive that I dove for the ball and landed like 30 feet away from me, and the rest of the way was pretty rough, as we all saw, but I said, this is the best way to go out, blowing out in the World Series. And basically, long story short, I was finally good, and then that play kind of brought me back to where I was on the IL. So, but at that time there was no time to go on the IL, so we just grinded through it.
You were able to make, obviously, key defensive plays in the World Series. Did you find that it really was more at the plate? That was where it kind of felt like a dead arm, I guess?
No, I wish it was a dead arm, because when pitchers feel a dead arm, they don't feel any pain. It just feels weak, and I wish I felt that. But, I thought, I could still do enough to help our team win. And, game baseball is, it's not just about hitting a homer. It's, I figured that, at times there were some good at-bats in there, and then I knew that what I could do in left field could be a game changer, and turned out it was.
You knew there was going to be a bill to pay this year. You had no guarantees of where you would even be. Did that just speak to how much you wanted to win that title and how much you wanted to finish out the season, even not knowing what was going to happen this year?
But to be honest with you, I wasn't planning on going in the IL, and we were playing the Houston Astros here 4th of July on national TV, and after my first at bat, I went back to the dugout and I looked at the iPad and I saw that they put up a stat saying the last 30 games or so I was hitting like 0-80. And that's when I was like, you know what, I'm not doing myself any favors. I'm not really doing the team any favors by still playing. And that was the day that after the game I went up to Doc's office and I was like, I don't think I can do it anymore. And after that, it was obviously I'm here to win a World Series, and that was the only goal, and I wasn't really thinking about the future. The WBC was creeping up in my head a little bit, but even after the World Series was done and I got an MRI, there was so much swelling and everything that I was given the option to either try to rehab or get surgery, and I left it on my family's and my agent's hands because I didn't really know what to do. And they were all, at the same time, they were like, you try to play through a core injury for 3 years and you ended up blowing out the other side and you ended up getting surgery on both sides. So let's just take care of it right now. And we went into the surgery not really knowing how serious it was going to be, or it was just going to be a cleanup. And I woke up with Altraj telling me this was the worst injury I've ever seen of this kind, and I don't know how you played. And I told him thank you. I take it as a compliment. And I FaceTime Andrew right then and there, and I told him, Altraj, tell him what you just said. And I was like, I did this for you, so you better bring me back. And Possum took the phone away from me because I was pretty drugged up still, but that's how it went.
How smooth has this rehab process kind of gone for you?
I mean, it was pretty easy because it was just a matter of waiting. I've had other surgeries where the rehab wasn't as easy as this one, but relatively speaking, obviously it took a lot of hard work and discipline, but it was pretty smooth. There was no setbacks. It was the complete opposite. I was ahead of schedule by a lot. Knowing you're getting surgery in the off season and knowing that you could potentially be out the first half, kind of like mental peace and expecting that and being ready for that kind of helped out, not rushing through things or getting mentally frustrated or anything. And, it all turned out to be somewhat of a blessing with my newborn. I was able to stay at home a little more and help out with the kids. And trainers did a great job with me, and strength coaches, everybody, Dr. Altraj. It was a team effort.
Are you generally a patient guy, or do you chomp at the bit to get back? Because you were out here every single day, it seemed like.
It depends on which patients you're talking about. Usually no, but I am who I am, and I still wanted to be out here and get rid of my energy somehow, and just let the guys know that even though I'm not playing right now, I'm going through the grind of the season with you guys in a certain way. And I think the most important part was mentally preparing myself to not play the first half. And if everything went smooth, I'd come back ahead of schedule. That'd be amazing. But I was, trying to be kind with myself and, trying to be as patient as I could be and understanding that your thing just got connected back on the bone and it's not that simple. So I think I was in so much pain last year that it helped with the patience.
When did you first kind of realize that coming back right when you were eligible was going to be a realistic thing?
Probably when I started swinging and there was no pain, and then the swinging progression went to, from twice or three times a week to every other day for the whole week, and then we started a bat speed program, and I wasn't waking up sore or anything like that. That's when I realized, I think I could be back when the time is up, and that's how it worked out.
How much did it hurt to miss the WBC and to be there in the time that you were? How much did that help?
That hurt my soul a little more than I was in pain physically last year, just because I've been, dreaming about playing in the WBC in Puerto Rico since I was 13 years old, and I kind of felt like I got taken away from me. But you gotta find a way of look at positives in life, and I was like, you know what, this would have sucked a lot more if we lost the World Series and I still didn't get to play the WBC, but we won the World Series, so in a weird way I would have rather missed the WBC and winning a World Series than getting to fulfill a life dream of playing in Puerto Rico after losing the World Series. So it was a fair trade.
Your appreciation, your enjoyment of this stage of your career, how does that differ from what you experienced maybe early on?
I think probably understanding that, I don't have to it didn't feel like I had to rush. It didn't feel like I was going to lose my spot or anything like that. I think that was very key. And then obviously you play the game. I always say that one baseball year is like kind of like cat years. One baseball year is like 7 years in life, with how much you learn with and all the stuff that happens in one season. And I love being here. I love being a Dodger. I love the grind of a baseball season, and these first 2 months were a little bit of a grind. I would say that the worst part about it all was missing spring training for the first time in my entire career was different. But I went to AAA with a different perspective for almost a month, and I had a lot of fun with those guys. I had a great group of guys, and now I'm back with my guys here, and I'm ready to go.
The fact that you've kind of become one of the more emblematic players of this era, do you kind of pinch yourself at all when you I don't know if pinch yourself is necessarily the right term, but usually, right, it's kind of the big superstars that are the guys that kind of get remembered. But my guess is that 10 years from now, 20 years from now, people start naming guys from this team. You're going to be one of the first guys named.
There's awareness. I'm aware of that and all that, but I don't like to sit back and think about it all, because that's when you start thinking about life after baseball and things like that. And for now, I don't want to really take too much time and think about all those things, because I'm getting in that stage of my career where the game's I'm starting to become really old in terms of baseball age. But I'm very aware of that, and I feel like it's a responsibility with the city, and not only in terms of just a player, but to me it's doing that as a Latino is very important, especially in the city where it's such a big Latino community, and we're living in some rough times, especially in this city. The last few years, it's been a lot of weird things going on. So I take this responsibility to not only represent this organization, but the Latino community, the Puerto Rican community, and all that. But for sure, it's something that is very touching to my heart, and I'm aware of, but I don't really give it that much thought.
How have your responsibilities in the clubhouse, you think, have changed? Who's your role over the years?
In charge of checking guys. That's something that I didn't necessarily have to do that in the past, but
you're a tough love guy?
Yeah, I think guys know that if I'm on them and I'm tough on them, it means that I care a lot about them. That's just how I am in general. If I F with you, I F, some things haven't changed. I'm still the clown in the clubhouse, and but I understanding that you're even though you don't feel like the old guy, you're one of the older guys, and sometimes you need to set an example. So that's basically it.
Last one, guys. Thanks.